Hey guys, we are back. Divine Intervention 2 into the semi-finals. There are 4 teams left, 3 of them from the small country of Europe, 1 of them from North America. Who's our North American representative?
Jerby.
Jerby, the hope of freedom!
That would be a very short movie.
Well, we'll see what ends up happening. He'll be on
Jerby's
the
good
other
at
side
this,
of the
man.
brackets.
Honestly, though,
Yeah.
he's in semifinals right now, showing it wasn't a mistake last time. He won last year's. He's primed to take another one.
Apparently so. I mean, in the semifinals, he's got a lot to prove. But hey, we'll see what happens. That's going to be on the other side of our brackets, though, because we're taking a look at Team Xaylia versus Team Adapting. So,
Right.
very strong jungler, mechanically proficient against a very strong soul laner, mechanically proficient. And both of these players are similar in their respects of that they're just really good at killing people. Xaylia, more seasoned, more experience, a little bit cuter. I want to give him the edge.
So we're going to be seeing this. In the beginning, I called that Xaylia was my favorite. I think that he is just a player that is mostly untouchable, and I think is a large part of the success of his team. And with that, has proven so far that he is doing pretty well in this tournament. If nothing else, defeats hi-rez defeats Hindu Man, then defeats Shadowq, who beat Pekkies, and then beat Jace Guitar, which eliminated Smitten, and then Jaggerus before that. Honestly, he is going to have probably his hardest matchup so far. That's going to be Adapting.
Adapting, once again, very strong player. Originally from i5, the replacement to iRaffer, and one of the few players that could replace iRaffer. Just, he came in, he plugged and played, and he did well enough and had a big void to fill. Raffer now on Mortality, very, very strong. But Adapting made a name for himself on the Potato Boys and showed off a little bit of what he can do. I don't think we've seen everything he has to offer, and maybe this will give us a little bit more of a hint. Either way, I mean, Adapting is very strong, Xaylia as well. On the other side, it's Suntouch versus Jerby. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Suntouch and Jerb, I think both are relying a lot on their team, but I think Suntouch has more of a carry role going on, which is why he's staying in the ADC. He needs to get to endgame, whereas Jerb has a very proficient, rather communicative team, and I think Jerby has the better matchup going in, especially since it is NA Proud right now, given the fact that we are on NA servers.
It is, yeah. NA Pride, NA servers, it's just the nature of this tournament. It's international on an NA home region. But we've gotten pulled into the picks and ban. So let's check it out. On the left, once again, it's not the blue team and the red team. I'm going to remember one of these days. It's Team Xaylia versus Team Adapting. And I typed that with my left hand.
I have definitely not been pulled in.
All right, well.
That's all right. We'll figure it out. I'll follow you. You do your thing.
We'll figure it out. Cirquet banned away. Curious, actually. Oh, no, not Curious. Never mind. Xaylia's on the left. So Cirquet banned away. I was going to say it was Curious because that was Adapting's ban. And it's essentially a pro player with 4 amateurs. So Cirquet is probably just going to go to the pro and probably not going to be on an amateur because of how hard she is to play. Xaylia banning Cirquet up against Adapting definitely makes sense. Thor, though, hovered on for the first pick.
I like Thor for the first pick. Global presence is very strong in games where communication is lax. In fact, global presence is just very strong.
Yeah. You get to go places that you should normally go. Freya Bakasura also banned away, Adapting. So this is a second pick, and he's got a lot of options here. Geb, Ra, Rom, Yanis, and looks like the Raw Yanis hover coming out right now. Definitely could be good. It does... Okay, Raw Anubis. Yanis Anubis. Back to the Yanis Raw. Alright, so locking that in. It does basically lock out his mid and solo, so that has been decided, and Xaylia knows what he's going up against, to an extent.
So now, we're going to be going back into the ban phase here, and there's still a few characters that should be taken away. What I'm worried about here is that Adapting once again has attempted to ban out Xaylia. You can't do that.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, you can remove things that he's strong on, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel. Like, you can't ban out Xaylia, but in this situation, I feel like you can take stuff away from him without significantly impacting yourself. The teams are definitely good, but it's not like you're up against exposed secrets where it's like, okay, yeah, well, you spent too many bans on Zaylia, so now Funball's going to kill you all with On Her, or Frosty X going to kill you with Ymir. There's a little bit less of that, but I don't know, man. Zaylia is still scary. That Baka ban, I think, is deserving.
I like the Mercury pickup. I think Mercury is a character that does well at all levels of play, both casual and competitive, even in things like Arena or Siege. I mean, he's always just a very strong, very easy-to-play god. With that, and given the fact that Thor is already on the team, do you expect this to go to Zaylia? This could be ADC?
You know, Zaylia has played it before. It's something that he very likes. Apollo locked in for Team Adapting as ADC, so we'll see what happens with that. And the Vamana ban. So 3 bans up against Zaylia. I want to say it could definitely be the Mercury solo lane. It's still decent. It'll have an okay matchup against Ra or Yanis, so I would love to see it in this game.
All right, so what do you think here about the bans? Do you think Vamana was necessary after the Mercury pickup? Because I'm seeing a lot of resources spent onto Zaylia, and he's a player you can't really affect.
Yeah, I think the Vamana was necessary because not only is Zaylia a killer at Vamana, but Vamana's very good against Ra. And so if you want to keep your Ra alive, it's definitely a nice ban. Hoon bots, so taking that one away, securing that one for Adapting in the jungle. Not as hard of a carry as I would expect to see. He is good at it, but Hoonbots being more of a team support, Adapting is going to be relying on his team as a whole to help him get through this match, not going the Suntouch route of just kill everyone.
And that's what he did last time. I mean, his team fell very far behind, and then Suntouch just killed everyone.
It's a good strategy, honestly. Exposed Secrets uses that in a lot of their games. Just kill everyone.
So just a few more minutes here before we get into the game. Final picks coming through here. What are you expecting?
Well, okay, so Scylla Rom will be the last 2 picks for Team Zaylia. I guess that has to be Scylla for the mid lane. So, and with Rom, it will be the Mercury solo, so that's going to be what Zaylia is going for. The last pick for Team Adapting is going to be their support. Athena still on the board. It would be the standard pick, but I don't know if I like Athena in this situation. You'd have a double global lane, but you're not going to have anything you can really gank with it, right? You've got Scylla, who's safe in the middle lane. Mercury, relatively safe in the solo lane with that Sonic Boom. Thor in the jungle has global presence, so Ares Hover, I like that a little bit more, and it does have kill potential on Gab.
I personally would have went the route of either Cabrakan or Bacchus or against Geb. And once again, you know, Sylvanas, though he did get banned out, I think is not being as valued in this tournament as I had expected.
Well, either way, that will be the 2 teams. So Thor, Geb, Rama, Scylla, Mercury for Team Zaylia. Team Adapting is Hoonbots, Ra, Apollo, Yanis, and Ares will be back in just about a minute to get into the action and bring you the semifinals. Stay tuned with the continuation of Divine Intervention 2. Alright guys, we are back and getting moving with Divine Intervention 2. I have to write team names so many times. Team Zaylia on the left representing Order and Europe. Team Adapting on the right representing Chaos and Europe.
So going into this, remember guys, this is semifinals. Winner of this will move on to finals, loser of which will fall down to consolation match to fight for 3rd place prizing. Going into this, I think Zaylia has the advantage.
Yeah, I mean, so he's, as we mentioned before, and as we've seen, his team is 5 all-skilled players in their own right, whereas Team Adapting, I recognize Vedium. That's about it. So that's not necessarily that they're bad, it's just they have to prove. And getting to this point, honestly, I mean, they've proven a lot already, but Zaylia is a strong team.
Going into this, though, I should recognize the fact that Zaylia's team does have 2 rather strong EU players, whereas Adapting's team only has 1 strong EU player. Now, forcing this to EU servers, I assume, since both teams are European captains, I would assume that the Adapting team is going to have a little bit more trouble.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm going to actually double check with the admin and see what server it is on. So, standard start coming out here, no invades really. Ares will be starting at the blue buff, whereas it's a 3-man on the mid camp for Team Zaylia.
See, I don't really love the Ares pick into Geb. I don't really understand why, because a smart Geb will be able to stop the chain combo. Generally speaking, you want to try to cast the chains at 1.6 to 1.8 seconds, or rather 1.75 to 1.99 is really where you're going to get the most amount of damage off, including auto attacks. A good Geb will turn around at the 1.4 to 1.6 second mark on the first change and knock you up to stop your second chain application. If you do it faster than that and avoid that, it's still not going to do nearly enough damage to warrant the Ares pick. On top of the fact that Geb does have CC immunity on his ultimate to be able to stop himself from getting pulled by no escape.
That said, it can still interrupt the rollout if well timed, so there is some opportunity for outplay coming out of the Ares. And just checking with the admins, all games are played on NA servers.
Oh, even if really, I guess well, tomorrow will be European.
I'm not sure on that. I think it's just the majority of the signups are NA, so it's just sort of like, okay, well, more NA players overall. NA servers. I don't know. Either way, them's the rules. And honestly, switching servers mid-tournament is jarring.
What do you mean?
Well, you can adjust to 120 ping. Like, so the standard, right, is about 50 on home servers and 120 on international, at least for me and some other players that I've talked to. But when you go back and forth, it's a lot harder than just staying on 120 or staying on 50. You can manage with 120 ping.
Okay, fair enough. To that same regard, though, looking at the team comps, I think adapting Hunbots, I think, is a great pick for these types of tournaments because the large amount of disruption is huge. But I'm looking at Scylla here. If Iron Flames finds those big ults, man, I think this could be quick. It really depends on what Iron Flames can bring to the table, since he's really the only true magical damage.
That is very, very true. I mean, Geb can start to do a decent amount in the late game, but it just takes a little bit too long. The other thing to mention is Dandy on this Thor, once again, a very aggressive early jungler, and probably won't be able to sort of out-jungle or even pressure adapting, but he could do a little bit better, you know, pressuring the team, ganking in the, probably in the solo lane more than anything, as he's got a Mercury to help him out, and in the middle lane, Yanis is just going to go through a wall.
So, game still paused here, guys. We're just waiting to get back into it. Actually, it looks like we're getting back into it.
Good timing. Yeah. All right, so back into it. 1 minute, 15 seconds in. Adapting has rotated out of lane. And the question is, where will he go from here? Probably just into mid lane.
All right, so I'm looking at the left lane. We're looking at the Ares here.
Hold on, mid lane. Iron Flames could be in trouble. That's the gank from Adapting. Sentinel picked up a little bit late there.
It looks like he still gets out, though.
Damage. Oh, yeah, I mean, of course, but 200 more damage than he needed to take.
Honestly, that gank's a little bit precarious, but they're going to try to play for the speed buff here. Thor's going to spot the rotation. Danny's going to try to work his way down, but Janus, it looks like he's ready to stop it. Portal going to miss. Unstable Vortex going to miss, and Adapting is going to be forced to escape here because Danny's not going to quite let this one go. Stun, double tap, not going to find it, forced to rotate away, but Iron Flames is back and with a lot of health, but it looks like Ares is going to find the kill here.
Yeah, when Ares does get the chain at this point, it definitely gets the job done. The cripple just reducing the opportunity to escape. And actually thinking about this, every member of Team Xayah relies on their jump. So the cripple from Ares can be very, very strong here. Speed buff getting taken down. And looks like backing off. Dandy's just going to clear his back harpies. He can't really contest that.
Iron Flames in the mid lane right now could be rotated on again. Crush not going to quite clear it up. Adapting not quite level 5 yet, but First Blood still goes the way of Team Adapting. Overall, though, slight gold lead, slight experience lead, and they're doing a good job with it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'd say a little bit more than slight just because it's 2 minutes in. So this can mean a little bit more, and it can grow very, very quickly. Adapting will be hitting level 5, likely earlier than Dandy. Just as there are a few buffs back up. He's going to get the red experience and the back harpies experience as well. Looks like heading to middle lane and actually heading directly for the mid camp. So level 4 junglers here, Adapting just hitting 5 as a creep dies in the middle lane. Lord Surge needs to be careful, needs to respect this, and will give up the left mid camp to the Ares player.
Overall, so far, not too much going on. I expected a little bit more of a push, given the fact that Apollo could have gotten very far ahead, but he's kind of waiting in the jungle right now instead of using his advantage. Smoke Trees, not really worried, actually standing still to bait the shot out from Vedium. Smoke Trees shouldn't have too much trouble here. Looking in the mid lane once again, Lord Surge rotates in, who had a very good first game of the day today.
Yeah, he did. This game having a little bit more trouble.
Oh, check this out. I'm sorry, Cret. Right side, double ultimate coming through. They're using everything they can. They're just trying to find the pick here. It's going to get close. Double ultimate coming through, doing damage. And with Ares rotation, could clean up. But Xaylia and Dandy do find the kill.
On the left-hand side, Smoke Trees used his ultimate to buy some time. Coming through, overhand smash. Vedium gets it with the across the sky. Ooh.
Oh, man. You should have seen the ultimate come out from Janus, just barely scraping back of Dandy. Doesn't quite get the damage off, but still maintains that level of pressure. They rotate over and they clean up the right lane. Still 1-2. Team Xaylia still somewhat behind.
Yeah. I mean, interesting play coming out from the junglers there, right? You have the gank on the right-hand side and the gank on the left-hand side almost simultaneously. They're definitely on the same page, but ending up in different locations. Golden Bow is done for Xaylia, and this is a nice breaking point that's going to give him a lot more lane pressure. Up against a Janus who won't quite have his clear just yet, this gives a melee character an uncharacteristic early clear advantage. Or sorry, up against a Raw, but same point.
I'm looking at adapting here. Level 7 getting very far ahead of the curve right now. In fact, only other person at level 7 right now is Xaylia, and actually the Apollo, thanks to that early kill coming out from Ares, the lane clear was just much stronger. He's going to have to use that effectively because Rama in the end game, I mean, rotation to rotation, Rama's just going to have more damage.
That's very true, so Apollo does need to take advantage of his global presence and his ability to peel for his team on the right-hand side, though Xaylia taking some damage forced back and doesn't need to use his ultimate there. Dandy rotating over as well. So junglers both on the right-hand side and middle lane. Ares is looking at Scylla here. Doesn't find the chain.
Yeah, once again, Ares not quite getting that early damage off, and that's kind of why you pick him. His early game is probably the strongest of any of the supports, maybe Sylvanas at this point. Ultimate coming through from Janus. They're going to rotate. Dandy's in the air. Doesn't look like he's going to take the damage there. In fact, Xaylia is going to be able to back off as well. A 4-man rotation here could be
Dandy.
trouble. It's going to be, yeah, Dandy almost got stuck there, but the 4-man rotation could be punished here. It depends on what Geb can find.
Yeah, so the other thing to mention is Fear No Evil was actually missed onto Mercury a little bit earlier on there. So not going to be available for some time. 60 seconds left on that. Adapting, rotating over to the left-hand side of the map, and he's just going to go directly for speed buff. This is something that Adapting does very well. He's like, okay, where's the jungler? He's over here. What can I take? Drops a ward, but actually, unfortunate timing there as the speed buff will spawn just as Adapting leaves.
Left camps looks like they're going to go for free this time. Took two of the Gamja boys once again.
Geb, actually.
Oh, but look at the damage overall. Lord Surge gets picked off. Dandy a little bit too late to the party, forced to escape once again. Mid lane, Iron Flames, no rotation as we're going to see right lane Xaylia not quite having the same level of pressure as I think we expected.
Big Invade on the speed buff, Monster Train a little bit low, and it is going to go to Adapting. No escape coming through. That's a kill onto 1 and a pull onto 2, and that's the Ares ult. When you don't pay your taxes, you just get killed. Rolling away is Smoke Trees that across the sky, not in the best position. Now rotating out. Xaylia does have the potential to kill Monster Train here, hugging the wall and able to get past. Now turning around, chains will not connect. Xaylia going to try and fight, but the snipe connects, and that's going to turn it around. Sonic Boom, not channeled in time, as Somersault gets Adapting the kill.
This is the thing is, while Xaylia has an incredibly hard carry, he's trying to do it from the solo lane comparatively to Adapting, who's able to rotate around the map, shot call, and use his pro status to really show people where they should be. He's comboing effectively, and now his team is massively in the lead. You're going to see them 2,200 gold ahead and 3,800 experience, and that's pre-objective.
Well, the other thing to mention is that at this point in the game, you just... Or, sorry, at this point in the tournament, you start to have synergy on your team. You start to know each other, and you play well together. So, team Adapting really is a team at this point. And, while Xaylia has a lot of good players on his roster, we just haven't quite seen the same amount of synergy happening.
So what are we expecting going into the 10-minute mark? I know the Gold Fury is going to be contested soon, but Ares and Geb, this is the story. Ares right now level 8, 2 kills, lots of gold. Geb right now 1,000 gold behind, only level 6. As we get towards the end game, it's going to be stronger, but for right now, Ares seems to have control.
Yeah. I mean, so the thing about Ares is when you can stay ahead, you can really stay relevant, and he ends up doing a lot of damage. So Will TF really just wants to keep this going. Adapting will get ulted on, but going directly in Berserker Barrage, so saving his stun there, turning around onto Dandy, who's a little bit low. Does have Mjolnirs, but will be pulled back in and actually killed by the no escape. Adapting low on health. Lord Surge, though, he's a Geb. He doesn't have enough damage to really get this kill. Finds the rollout, but knocks Adapting to safety somehow.
I'm watching Iron Flames. He's rotating still, has I'm a Monster. Zalia finds a kill over on right side, continues to push the tower. Smoke Trees keeps them safely off of the tower for now. Adapting might go back, and I'm not sure what Iron Flames is doing. He has to make a decision. It's got to be farm or wait. Do they force the reset? Iron Flames had complete control over that situation. He has no confidence. I'm looking at Zalia here because he has to build up his team. He has to shot call more. Right there, Iron Flames had the opportunity, but didn't take it because he didn't feel he was in control.
Speaking of control, Zalia should have complete control over that solo lane now. He does have his penetration boots finished with his golden bow, which is a big timing on the character because you get the penetration, and you get the fact that penetration boots, boots in general are just super valuable for that Mercury because of his ability to turn movement speed into physical power. So he gets a lot of physical power from those boots. The penetration, the attack speed. You cannot skip boots on Mercury. They're just so good.
What is Adapting doing?
Chilling.
I think he thinks that the camps went down at the same time, and he's waiting here at a lost camp. This thing is not up for at least another 35 to 40 seconds.
Yeah, it's rough. In the middle lane, though, Monster Train getting turned on. Will find the double tap Berserker Barrage as well. Nice Aegis, could buy some time. Fear No Evil comes through with the No Escape to follow up off of it. The Crush isn't going to do enough. Iron Flame's taken down. No Escape keeps getting these kills. Nice juke with the through space and time. Dandy will try to recall in the jungle, but he's not going to get far enough as the overhand smash will connect. No Monkey to tag it, but Dandy's not going to find his way out of this one as Somersault gets the slow and VDM gets the kill.
Smoke Trees right there, just not in position at all. Scylla through the fight completely, and Zalia once again not able to rotate fast enough. If this was me, I would lane swap. Put Zalia in the mid. Get Scylla to the solo to start farming. She's very far behind at this point comparatively to where she should be. Zalia right now, level 12, doing a good job of keeping himself in the game, but he's tied. We're so used to seeing Zalia ahead. When I'm looking at gold per minute, he's 4th. I'm looking at gold per minute, Ares is top.
Fat Ares, dude. Taking
he's putting up a lot of damage.
Incontinentia's book, really. So Ares is... He got his start in popularity through ranked because you can carry from the support role. Left-hand side, those Smoke Trees in a little bit of trouble across the sky will connect, and with the slow, that's going to help a lot. So great combination there. The auto attack, killing the ROM before he gets up in there.
Once again goes down. Zalia missing his ultimate in the right side as well. More trades not in favor of Team Zalia, and for the carry that we expected, it's just not being shown. To that, I'm looking a lot at Dandy here. He had such a good early game. His Thanatos was so strong, but his Thor's not having the same level of presence. We're constantly seeing him rotating. He's missing shots. He's not getting the big stuns off. He's dying very quickly. I think he's getting really abused by the cripple. It seems to me he doesn't know how to fight Ares.
Honestly, Ares is hard to fight if you don't know the matchup. He is completely unique in the support role. No Escape coming through. Will use the beads from Scylla, so those will be down for 135 seconds. So, looking at the gold advantage and the experience advantage here, I feel like Team Adapting needs to transition. They've gotten a lot of kills. They have a lot of experience in gold, 6,000 and 3,000. And I want to see them just take Gold Fury and lock in their lead so they can look to get towers. And that's exactly what they're going to do right now. Just start up the Gold Fury. This is going to be difficult to contest. In fact, it's actually just dead.
Yep, very, very quickly they take that down. Lord Surge not quite in the fight. He gets a knockup, but I think that one's going to prove fatal if they decide to rush it down.
Oh, wow!
Going to go. Oh, my God. That was godlike.
Yeah, that was. Zalia does have Sonic Boom charged up. He's going to look for Adapting, but hits a wall from Thor. That's so unfortunate. Now Zalia getting turned around upon. He's going to be forced out. Dandy Mez, I love this Mez, will be slowed. Mjolnir's attunement, not enough to get out. Dandy taken down. The synergy from Team Adapting is amazing, and Zalia just barely surviving that portal.
That was just too much pressure. That wasn't even bad communication. That was bad luck and a great ult coming out from Monster Train.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I don't want to say it's bad luck because it's decisions happening at the same time that sort of like just ended up being bad together. They were
Right.
both good decisions, just not together. They were really bad together.
The wall was great, yeah, except for the fact that, of course, it stopped the Mercury ult.
Oh, and the Sonic Boom was great, except for the fact that it hit a wall.
It's
Not at the
those
same
kinds
time.
of things that really
But
just shut
Zaylia,
down
I
a
mean,
team sometimes.
He are gonna find a special delivery on a monster train. Aegis to buy some time. Here comes Scylla and Apollo. Zaylia mezzed out. The mez play from VGM has been so good. Sentinel to create some room. Raj should be able to find this kill though. Nice wall.
Oh,
And
Dandy.
that's gonna keep it alive. Yeah, just on the edge.
Yeah, beautiful wall. Going to be able to stop that one. Scylla gets away just barely, but that's more farm time. You know, I think my prediction was just completely off the mark here. Zalia's team is kind of falling apart, whereas Adapting just getting stronger. And for that, I'm looking at Will. I mean, the Ares play has been unbelievably strong, abusing the fact that they don't know how to counteract that ultimate. The communication just isn't strong enough to deal with it, and they don't have enough damage to burst him down. You take a look at Ares at this point, he's got the Sovereignty online and has gone back into Iron Mail. Now, given the fact that this is Ares, Mystical Mark makes the most sense, but I would say Midgardian Mail is going to be the best. Being able to slow down that Mercury as fast as possible, yeah, big time.
And especially with that Midgardian mail and, dare I say, even a Hylinean line after it, Ares will be able to do the warrior job of just out-trading the assassin. On the right-hand side, though, Zaki, I mean, having trouble again, he needs to get out of this lane.
Yeah, definitely. And unfortunately, Zaki does get picked up. Zaylia does find himself a kill. Goal per minute, though. Zaylia is still very far behind Adapting. He's got to try to find a way back into this. The experience per minute still vastly in favor of Adapting, who's diving deep for Dandy. Once again, they're going to go for it. He's chained, but it's not going to be enough damage.
And not going to be enough damage. We'll be able to ult back to base.
Oh,
just
geez,
a
it was
blink,
actually
though.
very close.
Chains. Ares, though. I mean, he's 6-0-6, so he should be doing that much damage. Lil TF is just on fire this game. And really, it's just... So, Zaki, right now, 0-3, is... I think it's safe to say he's feeding, and this isn't a knock at him because he's playing against frickin' Zaylia as Mercury. But, like, that is something that Team Adapting needs to recover. That's the only thing they need to recover, and they're good across the board. They've got a huge gold lead right now of 6,800, a huge experience lead of 10,000. 15 minutes in, Team Adapting looks like they're going to just take the finals. This is the biggest victory we've seen, or the biggest lead we've seen so far, and it's in the semis.
That's true, but Fire Giant buff has turned much bigger victories around, and with the meta, gold isn't nearly as important as it was, let's say, a year or two ago, so there's definitely still a lot of room for Zaylia to make enough presence for his team to take kills. The Gold Fury, the Fire Giant, we're looking at Geb. He's only level 9 right now, in fact, 4 levels behind, still doesn't have that Sav online either. Looking at the gold, he's 2,300 behind.
That's a lot, and... So, Chains in the middle lane will connect, and that's going to be a death onto Iron Flames. 295 crit coming out from Adapting there. We'll be able to pick up that kill, and it's very important at this point that I'm honestly in the camp. Actually, I think I got it from you, where it's just get the kill. Doesn't really matter who it goes on.
Take it.
But at this point, with 6-0-7 on your Ares, you do want to give it to other people if at all possible. He's got enough.
Once again, Zaki gets picked up, but 2 ultimates used for it. Taking a look at the board here, it looks like there are 2 ultimates down on each side. With that, they have to be more progressive here. I would start rotating over towards that Gold Fury. You see Dandy coming in. Zaylia continues the solo farm. He's level 17 right now, which puts him in line with 2 other players on Team Adapting, but they need more than that. The team has to come online together, and right now Dandy is 6 levels behind.
Yeah, Dandy having a lot of trouble with this Thor, just wasn't able to get rolling in the early game, and that's really just Adapting. It can be... Thor's a very aggressive jungler, and you have to set the tone, but when you're up against a player that is out of your league, like Adapting versus Dandy, it can be very hard to set the tone against someone who... taking it from you.
True. That's true. And 31, that's going to be pretty deep considering, but Dandy is starting to farm a little bit more, given that he needs to be just faster, straight up. He has to be around that map quicker, using Mjolnir's attunement, less for damage and more for movement. He has to get to those camps, but right now there could be trouble. You're going to see Adapting going for the kill here, forcing it out. Blink's coming in. This is going to be a 3v2 until Zaylia gets in. He's looking for an opportunity, but he's kind of baiting his own team here.
Through space and time, just taking the head off of Scylla there, and Monster Train has been killing it on this mid lane. Yanis. Gold Fury will be pulled by the Apollo here. Vishim rotating over for that. Team Zalia needs to respond. This is sort of the point of no return, right? If they hit a 9,000 gold advantage, adapting is probably just going to be too far ahead to recover. Nice Cataclysm onto 5, Sonic Boom coming through. Thor down from above. This is exactly what they need, and killing Zaki yet again, but is it enough?
Smoke Trees pushes out 2. The Gold Fury doesn't quite go their way. Once again, they're going to drop that. 3 men getting pulled right here, but I don't think they're going to have the damage to turn that one around just yet. Will's going to get taken down. Adapting rotates back down, but if he teleports in, he will die. Looking at Monster Train, getting aggressive. Special delivery, is it online? He aegises. There's the special delivery. There's the knock-up, and there's the kill.
That was so unfortunate. Monster Train has... Oh, Apollo coming in from the sky. Will find a kill onto Dandy, turning around. So, overall, 3 for 1 with Gold Fury. It's actually an even trade. No,
yeah,
looking at the gold...
Shutdowns are pretty close. The issue is that what are they really gaining from it? They're not taking any aggression off it. It should have been more. Iron Flame's taking damage here. They're looking towards Zalia. Zalia not full health, nowhere near full mana, could be in trouble. He's going to be forced to escape once again. I think we're going to see the I'm a Monster push. No, doesn't quite go for it. She needs to get up in that ultimate. That's the 3rd time we have seen her die with ultimate available to her. She needs to be more progressive. Iron Flame's lacking confidence in his ability here is really showing weakness.
Yeah, I mean, his Isis play was really strong, but this Scylla just isn't working out. And she's a hard character to make function at times. Very effective, but when you get set behind, you can be in a really bad spot. And only level 13 with 9 stacks of Warwick Sash, just barely hitting the threshold where Scylla becomes a real character, right? Like, you want that rank 5 Sikkim, that rank 5 Crush. Before then, you're just a shell of your true self.
Yeah, that's true. Dandy right now, level 13, 6 levels behind Adapting at 19. And Hunbots is a character that has no critical mass. Hunbots is just continuously getting stronger because crits matter. His passive encourages you to hit everything, which means every time you level an ability, he's just doing that much more damage. The jump reduces in cooldown. The clear from the 3 gets bigger, and the poke gets stronger. The 2 gets max first because the damage is crazy, and then of course the ultimate increases in damage and is always relevant throughout the game. Rotating to the bottom side here, you're going to see Adapting and Will trying to steal this one away and possibly even kill Surge. Shane's just barely going to tap him, and there goes the ultimate as well, but they're using a lot for Geb.
And no escape will pull him back in. Cataclysm comes through, dodged by Adapting, doesn't have a somersault. And Sonic Boom going to come through, will not connect now. Zalia trying to duel across the sky, not going to get in the knockback. Zalia's going to get a nice escape there with his special delivery. Vidium in the front line, poking out Dandy. Great aim from that Hunter player, and it's going to be enough to create an advantage here and give Team Adapting room to take the tower.
I like the way that they pushed into that one. With Raw Heal, going to be able to take 1,500 more gold, and it looks like they're going to turn their sights to the Fire Giant. Geb just returned. Closest person, Scylla. She is nowhere near a high enough level to really burst this down. In fact, taking a look at Iron Flames now, he has the Sikkim Max, which is going to increase his damage overall, but there's no way he's going to make it. In fact, this one's going to go down for free. Team Adapting poised to take this one down.
Yeah, they're going to return to base, and they're spending something like 7,000 gold as a team, which will definitely be a big break point. Also, so here's my question. Is Adapting going chin size? Because it looks like he's going chin size.
I don't know why he would. Honestly, that chin size is not an item that's going to play well. That's going to force you to box characters like Mercury, which you're going to lose. I like the Shifter Shield. I love the Jotun's Wrath here. I'm looking more towards Hydras at this point to get full CDR. That or get some crit damage online. Where's the Deathbringer? That is a core item.
I think he's going for more of a support build. So,
support?
It looks...
That's not what chin size does. It's going to put him into death range.
Right, but my point is, he goes Jotuns into Shifters instead of going Jotuns into Deathbringer, which he definitely could have. He's trying to support his team, and then Shins is just going to give him what he needs to kill Geb when Geb gets caught out. And that's the one thing that Team Adapting hasn't been able to do. No escape onto 3, will not find a pull, but it will blow a lot of actives.
That's right. That was
paid
an
their
Aegis
taxes.
and 2 beads. As Geb gets turned on here, they're using a lot once again for Geb. He's turning back into it. Adapting needs to ult before he gets in trouble. 3-man shot. Actually, no follow-up. 4-man knockup. The Flames will be good there as Will picks it up. Dandy too late. Adapting on the ultimate will save his team. Monster Train very low, just barely escapes. Zalia diving away, looking for the shot, but doesn't look like Rama's going to find it. Overall, once again, Team Adapting takes a lead from that shot.
On the left-hand side, though, it's duel between the Mercury and the Apollo, and Apollo's winning somehow despite his lack of crit. Able to force Mercury out, Sonic Boom used defensively, but Apollo across the sky, he wants the kill. He's got blood in his eyes, he's not going to find it. Vicium walled out, can he get it? Zalia will fall, so he's saying it was worth. And with Dandy going down as well from the somersault, it totally was. Great play from Team Adapting.
Where is Ra going? No, he's not going to back. Okay, it looks like they're going to go right for the tier 2 here. This is going to be a free 1,500 and expose the left Phoenix as well. Not really sure why we just saw that Apollo tank so many shots, but should be able to heal up thanks to this Ra. Zaki G keeping everybody alive. Rotating towards the bottom here, we're going to see Iron Flame, Smoke Trees, and Lord Surge try to do something, but Crush does not do enough damage to that Ares to warrant that pressure.
No, it does not, and that left Phoenix will go down in the middle lane. Yanis split pushing, which you don't say too often, but he's got a wave, so he's going to do enough. Iron Flames force back, Sentinel used defensively. The snipe comes through, not going to connect, but even if it had, probably wouldn't have been enough pressure for a kill. Recalling is adapting. They've got the 2 strong lanes down. They could go for the 3rd. It's a little greedy, but definitely doable.
Rotating towards the right side once again. We're going to see them pressure. The 3rd Phoenix will likely go down here, given the fact that everyone is massively over-leveled, aside from the Ra, who really only needs his heal max. I don't see a lot of pressure going through. Adapting, taking a lot of damage, but not enough. Again, Scylla missing an I'm a Monster opportunity. Not sure why she's not ulting here, but Will keeping the pressure on. Ra heal, keeping everyone alive. Dandy not finding the damage he's looking for. Forced to escape once again. He's going to go down.
Now, Zalia is around the backside, does have Sonic Boom charged up. Where's he going to go? Directly into a Fear No Evil. Does not seem like a good path, so he has to wait here. Lord Surge into a wall, likely will fall. There's the Sonic Boom, going to connect onto Adapting. Will secure a kill as Zalia picks up another one on the backside. So playing this fight well. Now dashing with his special delivery. The snipe does not connect, and Zalia seems to... Oh, blink in. No escape. Beads. All right, now he's good.
Just barely getting out of that one. Very, very low health. Realistically, Zalia is trying to dive into fights with no lifesteal and is not having enough pressure, honestly.
So Zalia, there's the monster, but is not even going to come out in time. Zalia was forced away by Ares, and Apollo's just like, all right, I'm just going to go for the Titan. He's able to take it down 26-8, 25 minutes in. Team Adapting, absolutely crushing the opposition. It's incredible.
Well, Team Zalia is going to fall to that one and go on to face against Team Suntouch. Former teammate Jerby has managed to defeat and work his way to the 2nd finals in a row for Divine Intervention. He's going to be going up against a very controlling, very aggressive Team Adapting, and the winner is going to be the champion for day 1.
All right, guys, we'll be back with the first game of the finals in just a few minutes, so stay tuned. This is Divine Intervention 2. We're currently sitting at 41,618.84, at least in my browser. Probably a little bit higher. I hope so. Let's see how much more money we can make for Child's Play. But we'll be back with Game 1 of the finals, Jerby versus Adapting, in just a few minutes, so stay tuned.